So I was having a conversation with my coworker today, right? And I was talking to her about my capacity because sometimes we'll have conversations and I'll just have to stop her and say, hey, look, I just don't have the capacity today. I really don't. And it's like that in life sometimes, because we have to realize this. Every time that we have a communication, there's some sort of exchange being made. Every time that we have a communication with someone, there's some sort of exchange being made. There might be an exchange where you're pouring into them, or they're pouring into you, or conversely, you guys are pouring into each other equally, right? And there's days where I just don't have the capacity to do that. I just don't. I don't have the capacity to even listen at times, and it made me think about the reality of Jesus and how Jesus always had the capacity. Jesus always was willing, right? It's like even the man who was a leper came before Jesus after preaching the Sermon on the Mount. Jesus just got done preaching the best sermon in the history of man, right? And you would think, okay, Jesus had to climb up the hill, which takes energy. He sat in front of thousands and preached this sermon on the mount, which took energy. And even after the sermon was over, as he was descending down the mountain, a leper met Jesus and asked him, will you heal me? If you're willing, will you heal me? And Jesus, instead of saying, nah, I'm too tired today. Nah, check back with me tomorrow. I just got done preaching this sermon, but I need to go take a rest. No, Jesus said, I am willing, right? And it made me think about that. It's like, why was Jesus willing? How was Jesus willing? First and foremost, Jesus is God. So, but the reality of it caused me to look at his prayer life, and I think that that's a big aspect that a lot of us as Christians and believers, we just neglect. Jesus used to often stay up late into the late hours of the night and would also wake up extremely early, right? To go pray, to be in communion with God, even though he is God, but there was still communion there, communion with his Father. And I think that for me and just people in general, it just highlighted the importance of the secret place, that retreat and recharge. The example that I used today with her, I was like, look, I don't have the capacity, but it really stemmed down to me not spending enough time in the secret place, right? And the example that I used was a computer. I have my laptop in front of me, and when you're on your laptop and you don't have it plugged in, the battery begins to drain. And I have a Windows laptop, and it's a gaming PC. And once the battery gets below a certain threshold, the function becomes hindered, right? But when I plug it in and it's charging, it's optimized function. It has an optimized function. And if I don't plug the laptop in and I continue to use it, inevitably it dies, right? And then you have to plug it in and you have to recharge it. And it just highlighted to me that is the reality of the secret place. The Lord spoke to me in that moment and was like, this is what happens when you come to me in the secret place. When you get away from the distractions, you cut off the distractions, and you come and you get filled up, right? And that's the beauty of it. That exchange that we have with the Lord, there's always enough to replenish us, right? It's like sometimes we might go to family members, we might go to friends, and we might want to talk to them, but they don't have the capacity to listen to us or help us with our issues. And so as a result, we just receive them as being rude or closed off or not wanting to have a conversation with us, but that's because they don't have the capacity either, right? And it's like, When we go to the secret place and we commune with the Lord, he's always willing. He is always willing. He has the capacity. He is the life giver, right? And it just highlighted the reality of why we need to go to the secret place and retreat and recharge. And see, that's the thing. That's what we have to realize, guys. Everything that we are is wrapped up inside of him. It's wrapped up inside of Jesus. That is everything that we are. He is at the center of our world. So often it's easy to just get caught up in the distractions of life, right? Your job, your relationships, your marriages, your finances, your children, all of these different things, all of these distractions, social media distractions, right? Ultimately, these things are distractions. Why? Because if you allow it, they will become more of a priority than the secret place. And when these things become more of a priority than the secret place, you're going to always be operating from a limited capacity. You're going to operate from a limited capacity. You'll find that your cup is just draining, right? If we think about it, like I had a glass of water here, and I'm pouring into this thing in my life, and I'm pouring to my relationship, and I'm pouring into my marriage, and I'm pouring into my job, and I'm pouring to my kids, and I'm pouring to all the other stressors and the distractions into life. It will get to a point to where my cup is running low. My cup is running low. And then your cup runs dry and you have nothing else to pour. And so this is why it's vitally important that we seek the secret place daily. You know, like the Lord was just highlighting to me, this is a daily pursuit. This is a daily thing, right? So that way we can allow him to pour into us. So we won't be operating from a limited capacity, so that we can exemplify the characteristics of Christ in every situation. You know, that's the thing. Like if our cup is overfilling with his love, then everybody around us will catch that overflow of that love. Right? And that's one thing that I've had to realize. I was like, the way that I can continue to exemplify the characteristics of Christ is being filled up with God's love, and that love just overflowing from my cup and touching everyone around me. That's how people are able to see Christ. That's what keeps me operating from a higher capacity, right? And I think that that's one thing that is vitally important that so many of us neglect in the Christian walk. The secret place. Going to the secret place daily keeps you from burnout. Going to the secret place daily recharges you, refuels you, replenishes you. Going to the secret place is the only necessity in life. It's the highest prize to go to the secret place and get to see him, to have revelation of him, to get to know him more intimately. You know, and so with that, I just want to encourage you, if you are feeling like you're operating from a limited capacity, like I was today, I challenge you to take the time to retreat and go to the secret place so you can recharge. As always, stay prayed up, stay faithful, stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next one.